What's up, guys? It's Will from revolutionarylifestyledesign.com, RLD, coming to you today to talk about how to get your life together. And this is something that is very near and dear to my heart. Um, you might not know it to be reading my stuff and to look at me now, but at 20, I was an absolute fucking disgrace, okay? Pothead, failing out of university, living in a disgusting apartment until one day I said, that's enough. And I vowed that I would never ever live like that again. I put all my goals into, this giant unwieldy binder. Um, and I've been on that path ever since. And I'm really scared to think what my life would have turned out like if I hadn't made that decision, if I hadn't said, enough, I'm going to get it together. Um, Now, it wasn't smooth sailing since then. I was groping my way around in the dark. I didn't have realistic goals. I didn't have realistic priorities. I set, tons of insane, unrealistic, unachievable goals, and then when I wouldn't hit them, which would take Superman to hit them, I would beat myself up again. Okay, I didn't have men's blogs like this. In those days, 13 years ago, the internet was barely, barely a thing. That there was not good information for young men on how to set realistic goals and realistic priorities and get your life together. Okay, and so that's why I want to put this together for you. Now, this is something that I think a lot of guys can relate to. A lot of my readers are between 18 to 35, and especially for you young guys, it's so important that you get this handled, as soon as possible. Okay, because to get the things that you want, you cannot do it with a shaky foundation. Okay, you cannot build a house on a foundation that isn't solid. And to succeed in life, to get the financial success, to be physically fit, to get all the things that you dream about, you have to be organized, you have to have the right goals, you have to have the right priorities, and you have to be working on those things every day. Okay, every day I go to the gym and do a boring, repetitive task, and I've been doing that for the last 13 years. And the result is that I have 55 pounds of muscle. Okay, it's not built in a day, and you have to do all these things to get what you want, because at the end of the day, you choose your destiny. Okay, success doesn't happen by accident, and neither does failure. You choose which direction you're going to go, the direction towards success or the direction towards failure. Okay, but either way, you have to choose, because you're in the game. Okay, you're born, you're alive, and you choose which path you're going to be on. Okay, and when you don't take action, what you're saying in life is, I'm fine with things the way they are. You could be miserable in your life, but if you're not taking action, you're saying to life, that's okay. I deserve to be miserable. I deserve not to have the things that I want. I deserve to be living unfulfilled. Okay? That's what you're telling life. Now, I want to tell something to you that you already know. When you live like that, what you're doing is you're living without an achievement mentality. Okay, an achievement mentality is the basis of everything that's going to be behind your success. Okay, once I flipped from an achievement mentality to from a pleasure-seeking mentality, everything changed. Okay, because at the end of the day, when chasing pleasure is your main priority, that is what your life is going to look like, because you can't serve two masters. Okay, and ironically, chasing pleasure is not going to make you happy. The video games, the beer, the pizza, the weed, when you live for that stuff, it's actually going to make you unhappy. And that's because as men, we are not wired for that. Okay, what nature has wired us to do is build and conquer. Okay, when you look around, you look at our environment, from the washing machine to the TV to the internet, to the smartphone. This is all designed by men who built and conquered, okay? And they worked 15 hours a day doing it because they love it. I love RLD, and I'm working, 10, 12, 13 hours a day on some type of project or a post or a book because I love building this empire. All right, and I want you to find something that you love, and to do that you have to switch from a guy who chases pleasure to a guy who gets high off of achieving. I judge every single day by what I achieved in that day, okay, instead of just saying, what do I feel like doing? I'm going to go jerk off, or I'm going to go troll the internet for some girls, okay? That's stuff you can do at the end of the day once you've earned it from achieving something, all right? So I want to paint the picture for you if you don't make that switch, if you don't switch from pleasure seeking to achievement seeking, okay? This is how it's going to look. You're going to sacrifice your entire chance of greatness at life for beer, pizza, and what most guys do is watch men exercise, right? Sports. So the price you pay for that is your happiness. You're going to spend the rest of your life chained to a desk, hunched over a desk, under fluorescent lights doing something you hate, okay? And by the time you're 50, after 3 decades of that, you're going to have a house you can't afford, a car you can't afford, a wife you can't afford, kids you can't afford, okay? And you can't afford them because you're in debt to pay for them all. And you have to keep working that job because you have to pay for the debt that you put on yourself. And that is the average guy's life, okay? This is not some horror story that I'm making up. This is what the average guy is dealing with, all right? And at the end of the day, the average guy is fat, he's hunched over, he's pale, he's bald, and he's tired. And he's tired because he's been taking a beating by life for the last 3 decades. He's had the weight of the world on his shoulders because instead of vigilantly going after greatness, he chases pleasure, and he just works just enough to get by. And he never started his own business. He focuses on that beer at the end of the day, or that pizza, or that time alone, okay? And that's what he lives for, as opposed to living for greatness. When you live for greatness, those problems don't exist anymore, okay? When you shoot to be rich, you don't have to deal with what the average man deals with, okay? And the average guy is lucky compared to what happens to 50% of the guys who get married, okay? If you're unlucky, you get to pay alimony and child support just to see your kids every other weekend, all right? I've seen this with my own eyes, okay? I've seen it happen, and I'm seeing it happening to my friends now, okay? Look at me, I'm 33. Do I look like I'm 33? Like, not even close, because I don't have any of the stresses, and I don't have to deal with what the average 33-year-old has to deal with. Okay, I live in a tropical climate. I have my own business bringing me passive income. I have no debt. I have no kids. I have no wife. And all I do is focus on being great and going to the gym and building my business. And I'm happy, okay? When I look at my friends who are 33, they don't look happy. They look beaten down already, and I'm scared to think how it's going to turn out for them when they're 55. And I want to tell this to you, especially if you're young, because you can't see it, all right? You can't see it because the guys you went to school with, you haven't seen them grow up, and you haven't seen how things turn out for them, okay? And I want to clarify that for you so that you don't make those mistakes. Because life is not a trial run, okay? You get one shot, and life does not give a fuck whether you make that shot or not, okay? Life does not give a fuck about you, all right? And if you're a young guy, I need you to understand this. You pay for every mistake you make in your youth with compound interest, okay? That means whatever mistake you make now, you're going to pay for exponentially at 30. That $10,000 that you didn't invest in your own business at 20 is going to cost you $200,000 at 30. Okay, that $200,000 of missed income that you could be making every single year from that business. My biggest mistake in life was as an equities trader at 23. I made a small fortune. I had close to $200,000 sitting in the bank, and that's money that I never made again in my life, okay? And I made that in about 4 months. And my biggest mistake was that I didn't invest that into a business, okay? And I didn't invest it into a business because I couldn't execute on a business. I knew it's what I needed to do, okay? I knew at 23 this is what I needed to do. And I knew that I wouldn't see that kind of money again. But I didn't do it because I couldn't execute. And I couldn't execute because I just wasn't fucking serious about it, all right? I just wasn't willing to put in that 15 hours a day to execute and get it done. And that mistake cost me millions, all right? How many 23-year-olds do you know who are sitting on $200,000 cash in the bank? You know, instead, I just lived for 4 years without having to work, okay? And eventually I had to go get a job. And that was one of the worst days of my life. And the biggest mistake in my life, I would have been a multi-millionaire by now. No question about it if I had invested that into a sustainable business, okay? And I don't want that to happen to you, okay? I don't want you to make a mistake that's going to cost you a fortune at 30 and an even greater fortune at 40, okay? Every mistake you make in your youth, you pay for with compound interest. And I'm writing the article and I'm doing this video because I'm worried that you don't know that, and I'm worried that you don't have the right priorities. And the reason I'm worried is because the number one email I get, hands down by far, is for guys who want to bring a girl home from Tinder, but they live at home with their mom, and they're asking me how to do that, okay? If you're still living in your mom's basement, priority number 1, 2, and 3 is moving out, okay? And I know I wrote the book on Tinder, but I don't even want you to buy the book, okay? I want you to focus on moving out. Before you can start fucking around with Tinder and doing all these things with girls, you need to have the foundations. You need to have an income coming in, you need to move out, and you need to have your goals and priorities in check, all right? I don't want you to live like a monk, okay? There's a lot of stuff on dating on my site, and I want you to have that confidence of a player, and I want you to have an amazing sex life and all that fun stuff, but I want you to do it after you have your shit together, not before, okay? I want you to do it after you have the fundamentals in place, not before, okay? Because you guys are trying to eat the dessert before you have the dinner, and that harem of hot girls is not going to pay your rent, okay? You're still going to have to shuffle into work Monday morning, you know, exhausted, tired, just to make some asshole richer, okay? You know, having a harem is fun, but having your own business and owning your own time and doing work that you love is way more fun and way more satisfying. And I'm speaking from having both, okay? This is what you need to focus on. And I don't want you to end up like most guys. You know, most guys are living a life of quiet desperation, you know, shuffling through life. I don't want you to accept that mediocrity. I want you to strive for greatness, and I want you to do it starting today. And to do that, you need to have priorities in check, okay? So there are 4 priorities that you need, and I'm going to list them in order of importance. Number 1, your wealth, okay? Priority number 1 from now on is making money. And if that sounds materialistic, that's because it is. The slavery system that we are all born into, unless you come from a wealthy family, runs on money. If you don't have money, you have no options in this world because everything costs money. If you have no money, you have no quality of life. Okay, that's a fact. And to rate, every problem you have can either be solved or greatly enhanced by money. And to make real money, though, okay, you can't be an employee. To make real life-changing money, you need to own your own business. You need to own your own revenue stream. Because otherwise, your whole revenue stream is dependent on how much someone else decides to give you. And they can cut that off anytime, all right? To make real money, you've got to start your own business because your own business is the best investment you make. Okay, your own business is a money-making machine. And everything in your life and everyone in your life is going to try and take from you. Your business is the only thing that gives to you. My business gives me money every morning when I wake up. Okay? I wake up to money. My business asks nothing of me and only gives in return. My business is right where I left it the day before, and my business gives me exactly what I put into it, I get back. Okay? I put 15 hours a day, I get that return back. When we're talking about humans, you cannot say one human being in this world is going to relate to you that consistently. Okay? That's why you need to put your business in first place where it belongs. Okay? Putting a time, energy, and money-sucking girl in front of your business, you're not going to do that anymore, guys. Okay? Because from now on, you're going to be married to the money. All right? That's the attitude you have to take. Now, priority number 2 from now on is going to be your health, because you only have one body. So that means eating right, getting in shape, exercising every day, and getting enough sleep. I'm up at 6 every day. I'm at the gym by 8, and I'm in bed by 10:30 at the latest every single day. Okay? And if you're wondering why health isn't number 1, it's because you can't pay your rent with health. Okay, I'm assuming that most of you guys are 18 to 35 and you're in good health. The only time your health becomes number 1 priority is if you're sick. Okay, if you have a serious illness, of course health has to be number 1. And as you get older into your 50s and 60s and you've already built up a lot of income, then health becomes number 1. But for the majority of you guys, health is number 2, but a close second. Okay. Number 3, lifestyle. So your lifestyle is going to determine the direction of your life. Okay, partying, waking up at noon means that success is going to be impossible. You need discipline, dedication, and determination to get the things that you want. And that means getting up early, getting organized, and getting your budget under control. And if you want to know exactly how to do that, go to my site, go to the Mind section, and you'll find articles on all 3. Number 4, relationships. So, in your new life of kicking ass and taking names, your relationships are now your lowest priority. Okay, I've got a girl I'm seeing, or a couple girls. I see them once a week at the most. Okay, there's a period during the year where I was writing ebooks and I was seeing no one. All right, I didn't have a social commitment for 3 months. Okay, that's what it takes to get the things that you want, because by definition, a successful man is a busy man. Okay, you cannot be successful without a massive amount of work. And every social relationship comes with social obligations. And you only have 7 nights a week. The majority of those nights have to be devoted to work, especially if you're a guy working a day job and you're trying to start a business on the side. Okay, your weekends, your nights, they now belong to your business, not to chasing some random pussy off the internet. Okay. Those are just one of the things that need to be sacrificed if you want to be great. And within your relationships, there's even a greater level of prioritization. And that goes family, old friends or girlfriend, new friends, casual dating. Okay? So casual dating is now your absolute lowest priority. Okay, for those of you guys emailing me about how to get that girl home from Tinder, lowest priority, guys. You got to move out, do all the other stuff before you start worrying about bringing girls home from Tinder. And I'm telling you, this is a guy who makes half his living off of a Tinder ebook. Okay, I want you to get the other shit handled before you do all that. Okay, if you don't have the stuff handled, I don't even want you buying the book. Okay, I don't want you buying my sex book either, because you got to get the fundamentals in place. All right, before you do anything else. When you read about me or you listen to my videos about me talking about Tinder or talking about dating, or talking about my lay counts, that is 100% for business. That's stuff that I've already done, or it's an experiment I've done to show you guys what's possible. But like, I stopped caring about racking up lays a long time ago. Okay, I'm a businessman. Everything in my life is focused around business. Okay, the only reason you're hearing me talk about lay counts or dating or sex like that is because that's a marketable skill I have, and there's a demand for it. Okay, and I'm able to fill that demand with the success that I've had in the past. But that is not the focus of my life at all, okay? And no one in the real world cares how many people I fucked. Okay, my family's not going to want to hear about that. You know, the guys I hang out with, they don't care. Like, no one cares, right? Not a focus for me at all. Okay, I'm truly committed to success, which means that I keep women at a minimum, and you need to too, because women are going to drain your time, your bank account, your energy. Women are one of the biggest expenses in your life, okay? And I look at women as a luxury, right? If you're already a rich guy, if you're Dan Bilzerian, you can afford to fuck around with Playboy playmates all the time because you've got 30 million in the bank or whatever. You can afford to do all that shit. Okay, if you're poor, you can't afford that. You can't come close to affording that. Okay? And your mission has to be number one. Okay? And deep down, women don't even want to be your first priority. Okay? They'll punish you for it. There's nothing more attractive to a woman than a man on the mission, right? A man who puts himself and his business up here, and he puts her as priority number two. They won't admit it, but that's the truth, guys. Okay? So now that you got your priorities together, it's time to set your goals. So you've got your 4 priorities in order of importance, and now you're going to have your 4 goals in the same order of importance based on the same priorities. And the way to set those goals up is using the SMART goal system. SMART being an acronym for specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound goals. A specific goal is where you have a specific objective in mind. A measurable goal is a goal you can measure your progress towards hitting that objective. An actionable goal is you are willing and capable of taking action towards meeting that goal. And a relevant goal, your goal is realistic and solves the biggest pain point for one of your 4 priorities. And time-bound, your goal has an end-of-year timeline, okay? An end-of-year deadline. So what that means is that every year you're going to set 4 realistic goals based on your 4 priorities in life. It's the end of December right now in 2015, and I'm in the process of setting my 4 goals for next year. And at the end of this video, I want you to set your 4 goals for kicking ass in 2016 that you're going to accomplish, okay? And the way to do that, to actually accomplish goals, is you spend the entire year attacking those goals as if you had a gun to your head. That's how seriously I take them, okay? You're going to put your blinders on, you're going to go into tunnel vision, and your entire next year is going to be devoted to hitting those 4 key goals, okay? And you're going to think, you're going to talk, you're going to act, you're going to walk like the CEO of Me Incorporated, okay? You're going to treat hitting those goals like you are the CEO of your own company, and you're going to judge yourself quarter to quarter and year to year, just like a CEO is judged in business. And you're going to review your performance every quarter, and you're going to review your performance every year, and you're going to adjust your goals accordingly. And the reason I want you to set just 4 goals and just a year ahead is because you can't predict 10 years from now, okay? You got to live like the CEO who's living quarter to quarter and year to year. And the reason we only have 4 goals is because when you truly set 4 challenging, realistic goals, that is enough to keep you busy for the entire year. The biggest mistake guys make is setting all kinds of crazy goals, learning a language, playing guitar. That shit is not going to happen, okay? You need to set goals that solve major pain points, because if it's not solving a major pain points in one of your 4 major priorities, health, wealth, relationships, and lifestyle, you're not going to have the motivation to get it done, okay? Not knowing how to speak Spanish, that's not painful enough, okay? Being a fat, out of shape slob, that's painful. You got to look at yourself every day in the mirror, and that's painful, okay? So you're going to have the motivation to get that done, all right? That's why we stick to the major areas, because those major areas are always going to have a major pain point, all right? That's why all self-improvement is targeted towards health, wealth, relationships, and lifestyle, because those are the key areas where people are in pain, and those are the key areas where you need to take the solution to. Okay? So, goal number 1, your wealth goal. This goal is going to be weighted as strongly as all of the 3 goals combined, okay? Because you need to accumulate the wealth while you're young and let it compound as you grow. This is the one you're going to live and die by. So to hit my wealth goal this year, I wrote 2 high-quality books. Okay, at the start of the year, I didn't have a product for this business, and people told me it takes a year to write a good, high-quality book, but I did it in 3 months, and I did it by working on it 15 hours a day. Okay, the final month, I literally edited the book from start to finish every single day. I did a full edit of the book for 30 days straight. All right, and I did that twice this year, and that's how seriously I took hitting these goals. And the end result is that I destroyed my wealth goal. Okay, some of those days I wanted to kill somebody because all I'm doing is sitting inside writing the same fucking book over and over, going over and over areas, tightening up this, taking this out, putting this in. But the end result is I built 2 products that are giving me passive income, and I destroyed my wealth goal. Destroyed it. Okay? A realistic goal for you guys would be to add $20,000 of income. All right? In 2016, you're going to add $20,000 of income to what you're already making. That's a good goal. Number 2, health. Your health is your second most important goal. For those of you guys assuming you're healthy, this is going to be a physique goal. Okay, if you're a beginning trainee, a realistic goal is to add 20 pounds of lean mass to your frame. Okay, if you're an overweight guy, a realistic goal is to lose 45 pounds or 50 pounds of weight. Okay, that's like a pound a week. Okay, you can do that. It's challenging, but it's also realistic. If you're a more advanced trainee, adding 5 to 7 pounds of lean muscle is going to be a realistic goal. All right. Number 3, lifestyle. Your third most important goal. My lifestyle goal this year was to move to Thailand, and I hit it in May, and it was by far the best decision I made this year. Okay. A realistic goal for you might be to become a minimalist, and you're going to do it by getting all your possessions under 200 things. I did that about 3 or 4 years ago, and I continue to do that every year. Okay. If I buy a new shirt, that usually means I'm throwing out another shirt. Okay, everything I own adds up to about 140 things. So I can put everything in that big rolling suitcase over there and move to anywhere I want in the world at any given time. Okay, I can move to the Philippines tomorrow. I can move to France tomorrow. I can take my entire life and put it in that suitcase, including my computer, everything, and move anywhere else in the world. And it's an amazing feeling to have that much control over your life. And becoming a hardcore minimalist is something I highly, highly advocate. So that could be a goal for you, is getting organized, and you're going to do it. The specific goal is getting all your shit under 200 things, okay? That garage, that's a mess. You're going to clean out and get rid of everything you don't need and you don't use, okay? So that takes us to goal number 4, relationships, which is your least important goal, okay? So a realistic goal for you would be to get a supportive, good girlfriend who's going to accept your mission, all right? That's a good goal for 2016. A girl who's going to be sweet, submissive, and she's going to accept that you maybe only have 2 nights to spend with her a week because you're focused on becoming great, all right? And you're focused on building an awesome business. Another realistic goal is you want to fuck 12 new girls, okay? Maybe you don't want something serious. You want to fuck 12 new girls in 2016. That's 1 girl a month, all right? And that's something you can 100% do, okay? If you fuck 12 new girls, you're doubling what the average guy fucks in his entire lifetime, okay? And that's only 1 girl a month. That's 100% realistic, okay? If you saw my Tinder article, my book, I fucked 10 girls off Tinder in a month, just off Tinder alone. Okay, you can do one new girl a month if you apply yourself to it. Okay, and the reason I'm now telling you about women is because now that we have the foundation built, now you can have some fun. All right, now you can have a couple nights a week where you look forward to, you know, a new girl in your bed or having your girlfriend over. Now that you're working hard, you're going to the gym, you're being disciplined, now you can have some fun with girls. Okay, there's nothing wrong with having women in your life, and you know, as long as you have your shit together. Okay, if you're living at home, you're living with mom, you got to get the money coming in, you got to move out, you got to get to the gym, you got to be disciplined, and then you can have the girls. Okay, not before. um, I'm telling you, I'm willing to sacrifice women. I'll do it 3 months at a time if that means completing my project. So you need to be willing to as well, especially if you're not in the position I'm in. Okay, you got to build the foundation, and then once things are going smoothly, and you're working hard during the day, and you've earned it, then you can have the fun with the girls. Okay, then you can have a nice meal. Then you can play the video games. You can reward yourself a little bit. Okay, I'm not asking you to be a monk, but I'm asking you to get all the shit together, to set the right priorities and the right goals before you do the fun stuff. All right, and I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Okay, if you're watching this right now and you know you need your life to get your life together, okay, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Okay, you know you need to make a change. You know that you deserve more out of life, and you know that you've been thinking about it long enough. Okay, but what you have now that you didn't have before is you have the roadmap, and this is not a roadmap that I made up out of the air. This is a roadmap that I use, and this is the roadmap that got me where I want to be. This is the roadmap that will get you where you want to be. Okay, now you have the roadmap and you know what to do, and now you don't have any more excuses. Okay, so now is the time to make it happen. Now is the time to get your life together for 2016. All right, I want you to take this video, and if you're the guy who doesn't have it together, I want you to take this video, or whether you're listening to the audio or you're going to read this article, and I want you to make it happen. Okay, I want you to make it happen now, not today, not next month. I want you to sit down and I want you to sort out those priorities, and I want you to set those goals. Okay, if you've really been struggling, man, I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking to you through this camera, through the audio, through the article, and I'm telling you, now is the time to make it happen. All right? Thank you for watching, and as always, I wish you all the best.